morning, KL. Good morning. Can you see me? Lovely. So nice. Usually we all talk about cars, right? But this morning it's just all about the tariff and all that. What are your thoughts? Who do you think will pan out? You know? Trade war. Don't know lah. All this major geopolitics, and we are just civilians. And I think it's gonna affect everybody. But I don't think the US can hold on for long. I don't think they can hold on for long by this trade war with China, because practically everything they use are made in China. And it's not like China is enjoying, or like what Trump said, China is ripping them off, because it's the US middleman that buys from China at $2, $3, and then they sell $20, $30, $40 in US. They are the ones enjoying the profits, right? And I don't think it's also possible to move the entire supply chain manufacturing in US. Is impossible, because how many years you need to do that? It will take longer, much longer than Trump's presidency. It is impossible. And then the things that China buys from US are what? Agricultural stuff. The only high tech thing that US sort of sells to China is Boeing airplanes, which when China don't buy, they have Airbus, they have Europe to buy, they have their own C919, Comac, and then but the stuffs that America, come on man, they even import toilet paper from China, right? The cups, the bowls, the pins, the clothes hangers, all these small little things that nobody in US want to manufacture. No factory worker will want to be working there. All these they buy from China, let alone the American corporations that set up in China, right? John Deere, Milwaukee Tools, Nike, Apple, these won't be able to withstand 125% tariff. But the Chinese goods that are made by the Chinese factories, the small little factories that makes the MAGA hat for probably less than $1 each, and then sold in US probably for $19.90 or $29.90. The profit margin is so huge that even with the tariff, the product from $1 tariff to $2.50, the American companies will still buy because the selling price is $29 or $30. Huge difference. Right. Even the stainless steel shower heads, right? You can go to Taobao or Alibaba from China. Stainless steel high pressure shower head. How much does it cost? $2. A fully made in America stainless steel high pressure shower head is $140. How to compete? You can tariff 300% on the China one, and the American middleman will still buy. Heck, to make a $2 product to match your $140, you need to tariff 7,000%. Right? So I don't know, man. I really don't think US can hold it off, because if all the shipments are stopped and halted and their current supplies run out in a couple of months, people are gonna go on strike, man. A lot of Americans don't understand how many things that they use are made in China. And this relationship is not China abusing US, it's US companies abusing China, exploiting their low-cost manufacturing. So, I don't know. And that's not to even say these are just B2C products. What about the B2B products, right? The chemical compounds, the medicines, the syringe that you use in hospitals, your PPE clothings, all these things are from China. So I really applaud China for standing tough to US this round. Hey, 2008 US financial crisis, China was the one that took out their savings to help US. They bought bonds, the US bonds, right? When COVID happened, China was the one that sent respiratory machines to US, while US was trying to sabotage China, right? So I really think that this round, China standing tough is the right thing to do. Don't back down to bullies. They're just gonna come back for more. Right? All the countries that went to US to ask for concessions, discussions and all that, US are pressuring them to buy US bonds, 30-year bond, convert their existing bonds or top up to 30-year, 50-year bonds at ultra low interest rate. Crazy. Why would any country do that? You are practically robbing the other countries. And US likes to talk about trade deficit and make it sound like the world is ripping off Americans. But what about the service trade? Those that are not goods, the one that Donald Trump is arguing now are the goods only. What about services? If you add that in, US is surplus, not deficit. Hey, everyone swipe credit cards in the world, Visa, Master. That alone, US is pocketing money, and of course sending your spending information to CIA. You don't know that, right? Yeah. Every one of your credit card swipes, CIA has access. Right? And then what about all the services industry from US? Adobe, Microsoft, Google, Android, Google Maps. Yeah, these are technological innovation, but hell, man, they are enjoying very, very low tariff. Facebook, Instagram. Every country's advertising dollars that could have gone to their own newspaper, their own TV station, all these went to US. Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. All these are hard-earned money from every country in the world. US is enjoying a major surplus if you add in the services industry. These are all calculated under services. Right? If you think about it, it's crazy. The CNC machining, all the softwares that are engineering, CAD softwares, all these, everyone pay licensing and royalty to US firms. And that's why US have transitioned their economy to services based, and they're enjoying the huge profit margins. That's why they don't want to do manufacturing. And US maintain a trade deficit because US is the only guy printing the world reserve currency. It's like the whole world is sitting on a table playing Monopoly. US also pretending to play Monopoly. But US has unlimited money. They can print at will. It's already not a fair game for everyone. But you have to let the others win a little bit to make them sit on the table with you, so you can rob them further, right? So the trade deficit is a must, because you want the other countries to accept your US dollars, to use your US dollars that you merely printed. Whereas the other countries have to blow up their mountains, mine the ores, the lithiums and all that. And then you just buy all these things with printed dollar papers. Isn't that a good deal for US? The real problem with US is not the other countries. It's the government spending that is ridiculous. And where does the money go? The money go to the US elites. So what US is currently doing is just diverting the hate. They don't want the poor people in US to realize the ones that are ripping them off are the rich and the elites and the politicians, and not China or not Vietnam, Malaysia. It's not us ripping them off. It's the rich in US, the elites in US. They are ripping their own people while enjoying the benefits of setting up all these things in Asian countries, in the global south. Oh well. We'll see how it pans out. Certain industries in China, of course, will be hit, right? Those that don't enjoy such a huge difference in margin or costs, yeah. Like the lower end semiconductors, yeah. Anyway. Or cars for that matter, because cars at best, par on par, spec to spec, China can only make their cars 30% cheaper, right? So that one is a total out, but they've never gone into the US market anyway. And I don't think Donald Trump is dumb. He's not dumb. He's cruel. But he's not wrong as well, because under the current global trade system, China is winning. And in order to stop China from continue to win, they need to do this. They need to flip the table. It's like US opens a casino and pretend to be the player, and whilst US is also the banker, China is a great gambler, a prodigy, someone who's really good at it. So US wasn't happy. But to keep your customers in your casino, you have to let the one who is very good in gambling to win in order to attract other people to come to your casino, right? But if you're not happy with one guy winning, and hence you break the rules of your casino, people are gonna stop coming to your casino. I think that's what US will face. Anyway, I'm too insignificant to have these things impact me anyway. Alright, you guys enjoy a great weekend. Again, sorry for the babbling. Cheers.